Every trader will eventually learn that if they don't learn how to master their emotional state and know how to manage themselves, the market's going to push them around. And if they don't have self-control, it's going to be very difficult for them to build consistent profitability and scale with funding. Every trader eventually learns the importance of mastering their trading mindset, managing their negative emotions, managing stress, managing themselves so that they can consistently execute in the market. And in this video, I want to share with you why you're such an emotional trader and what you can do to manage it and quiet this response down. Now, there's one particular tool that you're going to need for this video, and it's the first link in the description or the first link in the comments. It's the Bulletproof Your Mindset Tool 2.0. So if you don't already have that, go in there and download it. It's completely free. Have it ready for this video. If you already have it downloaded, bring it up, because we're going to discuss this tool. I'm going to show you how to implement it to ensure that you remove the negative emotions from your trading and you start to build consistent profitability and start to scale up with funding. So one topic I want to discuss and just share, and we're going to use this as a bit of an analogy for this video, is that in your mind you have two components to summarize this. You got your brain, excuse my drawing skills, but you have your brain and what we're going to refer to as the prefrontal cortex, the more executive part of your brain. And you also have what is referred to as the amygdala, the more emotional part of your brain. And we're going to use these two parts of your brain to discuss in today's lecture. And we can also label the amygdala the monkey or the chimp and the prefrontal cortex as the human. Now, your human is a much better trader than your monkey is. Your monkey is responsible for survival. It's responsible for keeping you alive. Whereas your human is responsible for thrival. Now, most traders never learn how to manage and quiet down the amygdala survival response, their monkey, and as a result, most traders never achieve trading success. They never build consistent profitability, nor do they sustain their results. In order to build consistent profitability and have sustainable, successful results, you need to learn how to quiet down the amygdala and put the prefrontal cortex in charge. Your human builds money, your monkey ruins your chances of being a successful trader. Okay. Now, the monkey or the amygdala isn't bad. It's not something that we want to necessarily get rid of or judge or get angry when we have certain reactions. The truth is, we react the way we do. It is what it is. It's a survival response. Thousands of years ago, this survival response was very necessary to keep us alive. However, the environment that we've been put into in society, for the most part, for most people, when we're at a desk, at a trading desk with an air-conditioned room, there are very little threats in that situation. However, if we don't learn how to manage that amygdala response, we're going to have those same hardwired responses that were necessary thousands of years ago, but aren't necessary nowadays. So we need to learn how to manage and quiet down the amygdala's response. Now, there are two ways we can do that. There are two things that, as a trader, it's important to do. The first little analogy I want to give you is, let's imagine you have your monkey here. And this monkey, you are dangling a carrot in front of this monkey, and you got a carrot, not a carrot, a banana. You got a banana that monkey absolutely loves, and you're provoking and teasing the monkey with that banana, and that monkey is very, very happy, and it can't wait to eat that banana. And you're dangling the banana in front of its face, or whatever it may be, something that makes that monkey happy. And then let's say, for example, this banana is yanked away from that monkey and taken away. That smile that monkey once had very quickly will become a frown, and it's going to get very angry. The reason why is because in that monkey's mind, initially, it had associated this pleasurable response, this positive response to the banana. And it had that expectation of the pleasure of the taste, of all the dopamine, all that type of stuff. And the moment that banana is yanked away or taken away, now because the monkey had anchored in its mind its pleasure associated to the banana, as soon as that's taken away, it has pain, it has disappointment, it has negative emotion. So it's exactly the same as a human being when we're trading in the markets. The moment we set an expectation of what we think the market's going to give to us, and we associate a lot of pleasure and money and good and winning and dopamine to that, and we have this idea in our mind about what we think the market's going to give us and how pleasurable and how profitable and how positive and how happy and all these one-sided positive labels onto that. And if we project that idea onto the market, that fantasy onto the market, and the market doesn't provide that to us, then we're going to have that negative response. We're going to have that negative emotion as a result. But the only reason we're having that negative emotion is because of the expectation we had anchored initially, because of the expectation we were projecting onto the market. It's nothing the market did to us, it's very much the fact that we were imposing unrealistic expectations onto the market in the first place. So one of the first fixes you can implement or you can do in your trading to lower your negative emotions and negative emotional state, and especially your negative reaction to losing after you lose a position, is to be aware of the expectations that you're imposing or you're expecting from the market before you take that trade. And this is where the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool, the one I just got you to download, is crucial. And what that Bulletproof Your Mindset tool is going to guide you to do is it's going to ask you first and foremost, what are you expecting? This is before you take a position. What are you expecting in the market? And that tool is going to help you get all your outcome-based ideas of what you think the market's going to give you, and it's going to get you to write it down. It's going to help you have awareness of your expectations in the market. That's number one. What are you expecting from the market? Then, because nobody can predict what's going to happen next in the market. Nobody needs to predict what's going to happen next. So any expectations we have on the outcome of the next trade, they're unrealistic. Nobody can predict what's going to happen next. So the first step is identifying what are you expecting in the market. The second thing this tool is going to help you do is it's going to help you ground those expectations. The tool is going to run you through a questioning process of reminding you, hey Pat, nobody has any idea of what's going to happen next in the market. There are just so many factors in the financial markets for anybody to predict what's going to happen next on the individual outcome of the trade. It's also going to remind you that you don't need to predict what's going to happen next. Profitable trading isn't about predicting the individual outcome of a trade. Profitable trading is about adhering to your trading plan and to your edge over a large sample space. That's where you yield consistent profitability. So the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool is going to help you identify your expectations. It's going to help you ground those expectations. And so you're not that monkey who's addicted to the banana and then so disappointed when it doesn't provide that. And then finally, the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool is going to ask you, is this trade part of your trading plan? And the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool is going to guide you into making process-based decisions that are in alignment with your trading plan, instead of trading based on what you think and based on your expectations. Okay? So the first step in this whole idea of why you're an emotional trader and how to fix it is about understanding the expectations you're projecting onto the market about the outcome. And they're all unrealistic because nobody has any idea of how to predict what's going to happen next. And the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool helps you identify those expectations, ground those expectations, and get you back to ensuring that you're sticking to your trading plan so you can make process-based decisions and you're taking a trade unencumbered by the outcome. You're going into that trade saying to yourself, I don't care whether it goes up or it goes down, if this is a win or a loss. I'm taking this trade because it aligns with my trading plan, and I know if I do this over and over and over for the next 100,000 trades, I'm going to end up profitable because that's what my edge states based on previous trading data. Okay? So if you're a highly emotional, reactive trader, especially after you lose in the market, you take a loss in the market, it's most likely because of the positive expectations you're projecting onto the market before you get into that position. Use that Bulletproof Your Mindset tool to help you identify those and ground those. If you haven't already downloaded it, go into the description and download that. Now, the second reason why you're emotional, and these two reasons tie nicely together. These expectations, the positive expectations of what you think is going to happen next in the market, is very much based on your previous experiences in the market and in life. If we have this as positive, this is negative, this is your past memories, and this is your future imaginations, and we say this here is a mirror. Your future, your past mirrors forward into your future. And many traders, what they're doing is they're projecting an expectation into the future of the outcome. Expectation, a positive expectation of the outcome of a trade, which is a fantasy. And in their mind, that expectation is positive without negative. They only see the benefits. They don't see the drawbacks. They see the gain. They don't see the loss. And they're projecting this in their mind. In the future, I'm going to make this amount of money. I'm going to have this positive outcome. I'm going to pass this funded challenge. I'm going to get this recognition in my community. It's all the positive expectations they're projecting into the future. Now, those positive expectations come from previous infatuations. Because in the past, when you were trading, there were certain wins that you took and you experienced. And you had this feeling of positive or win or exhilaration or dopamine that you get attached to, you're infatuated with, you see more benefit than drawback to, and you log that in the subconscious mind. We can also say this whole past here, your memory is your subconscious mind. And you log that in your subconscious mind as a very positive experience in the past. And then what you're doing in your mind is you're then projecting expectations based on that previous infatuation. It mirrors. I want to experience that pleasure again of the past. And that's the expectation you're imposing into the market. Or I saw Eurodollar do this exact thing in the past. I made a lot of money from it. I'm attached to it. Got dopamine associated to it. And I'm expecting it's going to do that again. I'm going to experience all that pleasure again. But again, nobody has any idea of what's going to happen on the individual trade. You can go through back-tested data and determine an edge based on a larger sample space, but then to expect that on the individual outcome of that one trade is unrealistic. Okay? So the second place where your negative emotions come from, well, firstly, that's where your expectations come from, but there are also resentments that you have in the past, where you've taken losses in the past and negative, and you've clustered these experiences into a resentment in your mind. And this is where you see more drawback than benefit, more negative than positive, more pain than pleasure, more loss than gain in the past. And if in the market you take a trade and it resembles these losses, and there's an association, it reminds you of these losses, guess what happens? All the negative experience, all the pain, all the negative feel bad chemicals, they come back up and they resurface. So if you don't address your previous resentments in the market or in life or in previous relationships or through schooling or through sport or through your workplace, and you don't address those subconsciously stored associations in your mind of losing and this negative experience, then the moment you have a loss in the market that resembles that or has an association to that, up comes all the negative emotions from the previous experience subconsciously. And you have this avoidance mechanism, you have this pain response, and sometimes you don't even know why. You're not even consciously aware of it. So it's very important. This is why I talk a lot about addressing the subconsciously stored baggage of both positive and negative in your mind in the past. I talk about this extensively in the 12-week program and one-on-one coaching, because if you don't address that stuff of the past, it's going to affect your future decision making. You're going to have positive expectations are imposing, fantasies are imposing. This is also what we call greed. And you'll also have, because of the resentments of the past logged in your mind, and you don't want to experience that again, consciously or unconsciously, you're also going to have fear. This is where fear and greed run your trading. Okay? So part of the negative reaction is these resentments. Part of it is the attachment to the fantasy and the greed. It's a bit of both. And you really have to go in there and you have to address all of it. But the first step in this process is implementing the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool and getting very good at becoming aware of your expectations, what you've anchored yourself to before the trade. And then when you're really ready to level up your trading psychology and clear a lot of the issues, the deep issues you have over winning and losing in the past that are influencing your greed and fear and influencing your decisions in the future. And guess what? When you're in greed and fear, you're not sticking to your trading plan. Your trading plan is the process that's balanced and present. When you're caught in your emotions, you're not sticking to that. So when you're ready to level that up, that's where the 12-week program, one-on-one coaching become very, very important. Okay? So hopefully this gave you some ideas. Remember the monkey. The monkey, whenever it's provoked with a banana, just like your amygdala is provoked by positive expectations. And if you're constantly caught in your emotions, you're going to be stuck in this survival response in the amygdala. You're never going to activate the prefrontal cortex. And you're going to be stuck in boom and bust results because you're going to be caught in greed and fear, as opposed to a trader who's activated their prefrontal cortex and is more balanced and is sticking to their process and they're thriving. This is process, this is outcome. So it all kind of ties in together, but it's all about quieting down your amygdala, your monkey, putting your prefrontal cortex in charge, managing your expectations, addressing the subconsciously stored baggage, and that's how you build momentum. Okay? If you found this useful, like, comment, subscribe, share your main takeaways, share these videos with your trading communities and trading friends. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.